It's estimated that between 70 and 85% of people are unhappy and dislike their job. That is a crazy statistic if you think about it. That is so many people. And usually when they do these surveys, it's broken down over 5 different categories. Number 1 being pay, 2 opportunities, 3 recognition, 4 autonomy, and number 5 meaning. So the most popular video to date on this channel was a video about 7 reasons why firefighting might not be for you. If you're interested, I can put it right here. So it's only fair that I make a video explaining 5 reasons as to why firefighting might be a good career for you or something you might be interested in, and quite honestly, why it's the best job in the world. So in this video, I'm going to go over those 5 reasons and why they are. If you find this useful and you find this helpful, give this video a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll get right into it. So the first one deals with what I was just talking about. A lot of people feel like their job doesn't give them a sense of meaning. They're not valued in their job, that their job is just kind of meaningless. So what I'm about to say is by no means meant to insult anybody's particular career choice or diminish anything that anybody does for a living. But the number one reason I can think of that you would want to be a firefighter or you'd be interested in working in the fire service would be that you have a job that has immediate and impactful meaning. You have a job that matters and you can see it. See, a lot of people will work their entire career, 20, 30, 40 years, and they'll spend their entire career feeling like they never did anything that actually mattered. Firefighting gives you a unique opportunity to have an impact in a big way on people and then see that right away. Firefighters get called to all sorts of events, all sorts of EMS calls, fire calls, rescue calls. And when you do something that's impactful, when you save someone's life, when you rescue someone from a terrible situation, and then they come back later to thank you, and then they bring their family members, and you get to see the impact that you had on this one particular person's life, and not just this one person, but the fact that your actions saved this person's life, and you can see all the other people, essentially the ripples in the pond of who else that would have affected. That's a really cool and unique opportunity that I would argue that most careers don't really give you the opportunity to see firsthand. So the number one reason that I would say that the fire service might be a good career for you is if you're looking for a job that has actual tangible meaning and you can see it right away. The second reason would be it forces you to take on responsibility and be a leader within your community. Now, I've talked about this in some of my other videos where whether you like it or not, when you become a firefighter, you will be looked to as a leader. You might ask why, and it's because when someone calls 911, people don't typically just call 911 because they're having a great day and everything's okay. Whether it's an actual emergency or not, and we can get into that in another video because a lot of 911 calls are not actual emergencies and the 911 system is horribly abused. That person is having something is going wrong and they're looking for help. They're looking for someone that they can look to and a leader in that particular situation, whether it be an EMS call, fire call, rescue call, whatever the call is, you will be looked to a leader on a regular basis. Now, becoming a firefighter forces you to take on that responsibility, not just for yourself, but also for your crew, because again, whether you like it or not, you're going to be working with a group of people, and those people are going to rely on you, and you will rely on them, just as much as that group of people will be relied on by the community at large. So firefighting immediately forces you to take on more responsibility and be a leader. Number 3 is you want more than just coworkers. You'll hear a lot of firefighters talk about this. They talk about the brotherhood or the sisterhood of the fire service and the unique bond that is between firefighters. And in a lot of ways, that's true. Now, I'm not going to pretend that all firefighters are the best people you'll ever meet. Firefighters are no different than anybody else. There's really good ones and there's really bad ones and there's everything in between. But when you become a firefighter, especially as a career firefighter, you're going to be forced to live with people and essentially have a second family at the firehouse, usually for at least 24 hours at a time, and you're going to be doing this regularly, day in and day out. That creates a unique bond that most other careers where you show up and do your 9 to 5 or your 8 to 4 or your 7 to 3, you don't get to know these people on a more personal or deeper level. Now, some people that might be very private, that might not be for you, but other people really like that. And I can say that I have made some of the closest friends and met some of the best people I've ever met in my life through the fire service. So number 3 would be if you're looking for a job or a career that gives you the opportunity to have more than just, hey, this is my pal Steve or Sally over in HR, she's great too. You get to have essentially a second family and not just more friends. The 4th reason, and this one might be a little, I don't want to say controversial, but I'm sure somebody's going to jump in and say something in the comments. It's almost inevitable at this point. A lot of people get into the fire service because they're looking for just stability in a career. Now, obviously, this varies greatly depending on where you live and the situation. I know in some places in the country, pay and stability for fire departments is very different than other places. But having a pension and being a part of a union is something people will actively seek out. Now, if you're not sure and you're not familiar with what a pension is, I guess I can do that in another video if you'd like. I can go over exactly what the pros and the cons, because there are cons to having a pension, and the pros and the cons of a union and what that entails. But that's something, stability in a career with a pension, so that once the day comes that you do retire, you get continually paid essentially for the rest of your life. That's something a lot of people seek out. And so that might be a good reason that if that's what you're looking for, because there's not a lot of jobs like that, particularly in the United States, where that still exists. If that's what you're looking for, firefighting, at least career firefighting, might be something for you. And then the last reason would be the time off and the schedule. Now, there's a lot of people that'll get mad that I say that this is a reason you might want to be a firefighter, but it's true. Typically, the schedule in firefighting is 24-48. You work 24 hours on, then you'll be off for 48, then 24-48. There's other schedules out there. There's the California swing schedule, which rotates in a slightly different way. There's 48-96, which again is the same thing that you would think. It sounds like the 24-48. You work 2 days, then you're off for 4, 2 days off for 4. Working as a career firefighter, having the schedule like that gives you the opportunity to get involved in other things. You've heard me talk about how almost every firefighter out there has a B job or a secondary job or something else they do on the side. Well, that's because you get a lot of time off. Now, that doesn't mean that when you're on duty, you don't work hard, because you do. But having multiple days off in a row, especially in the middle of the week when everybody else is working, gives you the opportunity to explore the things that you might like. Some guys and some girls just don't have a secondary job, a B job, and they like to go travel or do other things. A lot of people are looking for a schedule like that. It does have its pros and it does have its cons, but having multiple days off in a row like that and having kind of a rotating schedule might be a reason you'd want to get into firefighting. So as always, I hope you found this useful and I hope you found this helpful. Click like, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.